and welcome to Binge Watch, the podcast where we take a look at the hottest new TV and film releases on streaming television platforms. I'm Hannah Fernando, the group editor of Woman and Woman Home magazine.
And I'm Ian McEwan, writer on TV and Satellite Week, TV Times, What's on TV and whattowatch.com. And today we're looking at the new releases that will be available on Friday the 8th of August 2025, including Sam Claflin's new adaptation of literary classic The Count of Monte Cristo on You, and the belated return of classic animation series King of the Hill on Disney+.
And we'll also be returning to Nevermore Academy in a new and brilliant season of Wednesday on Netflix, and checking out Series 2 of comedy Platonic, starring Rose Byrne and Seth Rogen on Apple TV+. But first, Ian, what is in the news?
Millie Bobby Brown and Gabrielle LaBelle will star in the Netflix romantic comedy Just Picture It as a pair of college students whose phones start behaving very strangely. They could have called it Stranger Rings, couldn't they, Hannah? What
I see what you did there.
What else is in the news?
Well, in Apple TV Plus's adaptation of Philip Kerr's acclaimed Berlin noir crime novels, Jack Lowden will play 1920s German detective Bernie Gunther, who is hunting for a serial killer.
Good stuff. Well, we have 3 very good returning shows for you, plus one new one, which we're going to start with. On You, available as a box set, we have The Count of Monte Cristo. And here's a clip.
I was robbed of 15 years of my life.
You're under arrest.
The only woman I ever loved was taken from me in that time.
I'll come back for you!
I've not been put on trial. I'm not a criminal.
You're a spy working for Napoleon.
This is a mistake. And now, I want revenge.
So most people will be familiar with the fact that this is a classic novel by Alexander Dumas, and it's all about this sailor called Edmond Dantes, who is imprisoned in a fortress, an island fortress, but he's wrongly imprisoned because a couple of people plot against him and pretend that he's a spy for Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay, and it's the story of, well, initially how that comes about, and then how he sets out to get his revenge. It's directed by Billy August, and it stars Sam Claflin, who was in Daisy Jones and the Six, and acting royalty Jeremy Irons. So this got a pretty dreadful review in The Guardian. I have to say, they were very rude about it. I think it's perfectly serviceable. So yeah, episode 1, we start off at sea, and Dantes has been promoted to be the captain, but one of his shipmates is very jealous. And then when he gets home and is reunited with his sweetheart, there is a soldier who also fancies her. So he's got his own reason to get Dantes out of the way. So that's the setup. Yes, we're going to meet Jeremy Irons, who is another prisoner in the fortress, and yeah, yada, 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 he'll escape, and then he'll, set about finding the people who are responsible for him basically losing 15 years of his life and his beloved. So yeah, I thought it looked great. I mean, the review was complaining about the plot. Well, the plot is from the book, So I look forward to seeing Jeremy Irons in it, because he's good in everything. Claflin is great as a kind of initially as a sort of young, dashing hero, and then he also has to play him bearded 15 years later after he's had an absolutely horrific time in solitary confinement. So yeah, I thought it was a perfectly good period drama. What did you think, Hannah?
Well, as you say, I mean, you can't really deviate from the book, and they'd be complaining if you did deviate from the book, wouldn't they? So they can't get it right with this. Do you know what? I really like the story of this. It's it's quite scary, isn't it? Someone sort of being wronged when they shouldn't be, and then that consuming their life, which it absolutely would consume your life, and then kind of consuming you in terms of your revenge and what you're going to do and all the rest of it. So I think that for me, it was, I don't know if it's something that I think, oh yeah, I must watch that, but actually the premise of this and the book, which I haven't read, but I think I might read, I don't know, it kind of really resonates. It's really, you sort of, I often think could it happen to anyone where you're accused of something, you do something, and you're banged up for something you didn't do, or whatever it might be. So yeah, I thought it wasn't for me, but it actually was.
Yes, and unfortunately when it happens these days, Hannah, it's usually the fault of the police, isn't it? Anyway, we don't have time to discuss that because we're moving swiftly on to Netflix for the welcome return of Wednesday. And here's a clip.
Wednesday Addams. It is an honor to meet the savior of Nevermore.
Can I get your autograph?
I only signed my name in blood.
I would expect nothing less.
I never said it was my own blood. We need to set bear traps out here.
Yes, it is the return. I don't think anybody, or perhaps they did, perhaps it was just me. No, I don't think anybody realised quite how big Wednesday was going to be. And it's a real phenomenon. It really is. So this is going to be shown in 2 4-episode parts. And as you say, it's the second outing. And there's some brilliant names in this and a brilliant script, and it's just one of those things that adults and children alike can watch and enjoy together, and there's few things that are really brilliant that everybody loves, and this I strongly believe is one of them. This starts with after the holidays when the children go back to Nevermore Academy, but it's not just Wednesday going back, because this time her brother Pugsley, played by Isaac Ordonez, is joining the school. It's a school for supernaturally gifted children, but her parents are also moving onto campus as well, which Wednesday is not too pleased about, and she's got a kind of unusual relationship with her mother, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, which I think when we left the first series, we thought things might be a bit better. But she's come back in the second series and is a bit of a celebrity, and she doesn't really like it. Everywhere she goes, everyone's coming up to her. She's a bit of a celebrity because of what happened in the first series, of her kind of slaying monsters and what have you. And very quickly she falls into quite a dark place. And it's really, can her grandmother save her and her roomie from something, or digging her out of danger, really. And her grandmother, Hester Frump, is played by the incredibly brilliant Dame Joanna Lumley. And for any of you who have just seen trailers of this before you actually watch it, she has just been cast so well. I mean, everything she turns her hand to, I'm a huge fan of hers. Everything she turns her hand to is great, but she's got such a presence, which I suppose she does in everything, but this, she really, really does. And you won't be disappointed. From what I have seen so far, you are not going to be disappointed with this, because it's got all the drama and some. It's got the deep-rooted kind of relationship situation, even though it's supernatural. And you know how I feel about supernatural, but do you know what? I can totally get on board with this one. It's fantastic. And as I say, it's a great cast as well. What did you think, Ian?
I love it, and you're absolutely right. I mean, it's a massive hit for Netflix all over the world. And yeah, it is cross-generational. And Ortega is brilliant in the lead role. It starts off with her, she's going through airport security, and of course the beeper goes off, and then she just endlessly produces all these weapons she's got on her. So yeah, she's going back to school. This time Pugsley, played by Isaac Ordonez, is joining her there at the school. And yeah, Zeta-Jones, perfect as Morticia, and Luis Guzman as Gomez, her husband, is just so creepy. And yeah, I mean, we got Steve Buscemi, haven't we, as the the new headmaster. You've got Billy Piper as the head of music. So many people. Lady Gaga's in it. Christopher Lloyd, Thandie Newton, Haley Joel Osment. It never ends. But because it's Tim Burton, it is just so, the whole world is so beautifully imagined. I mean, obviously it's based on the Addams Family, yes, and it's even got, episode 1 has even got a bit of Burton animation in it, stop motion animation in it, which is just a delight to see. So yeah, welcome back. It's just as good as ever. What a delightful and such an original and imaginative show. A1. We move across to Disney Plus for the return of animated comedy King of the Hill. And here's a clip.
It's been hard with you and Peggy gone, Hank. I might have let myself go a little.
World has changed, Dad.
I don't know how to kick someone's ass over Zoom, but I'll figure it out. Huh. Okay. Is that a...
Don't worry. They're both all gender.
Uh-huh. Are we all gender?
Well, this is one of my all-time favourites. It first aired in 1997, and there were 13 series. It ended in 2009. So it's a rather belated return for this Emmy-winning show, which was created by Mike Judge and Greg Daniels, who were behind the brilliant Beavis and Butthead. And yes, it's all about the Hill family. So there's Hank, who...
I sell propane and propane accessories.
And he lives in Arlen, Texas with Peggy, his wife, and...
their son, Bobby.
Anyway, in the interim, it's just so good. It's just so good. In the interim, Bobby was at school last time we saw King of the Hill, and it's all about them and their neighbours, basically, who are a real bunch of oddballs. And Hank sort of stands out in the road chatting to his mates from the neighbourhood, who are hilarious. Hank and Peggy have been working in Saudi Arabia, would you believe it? Building up a nest egg for retirement. Meanwhile, Bobby is he's now a sushi chef working in Dallas. I mean, if you've seen this, you'll know what you're going to get. I mean, they're just terrific characters, just living a normal life in Texas. And if you haven't seen it, well, you must, because it's a joy. It's so unusual. I can't think of anything that's similar. So yeah, I'm delighted to see it back, and it's just one of my faves. I'm so happy. Is this up your alley, Hannah?
Oh, do you know what? I don't remember it before, but I think this is really funny because I just love the kind of obviously this time has elapsed while they've been away, and just you're seeing, because obviously progress when you've been out of it, even when you're in it, it's happening quickly, doesn't it? But suddenly you're out of it and then you come back, and it's just that kind of it's just very, very funny the way he kind of sees things and looks at things, and the way that's kind of narrated works really well, and you kind of find yourself really giggling at it, don't you? There are some proper laugh out loud moments, I have to say.
Yeah, he's struggling to get to grips with the modern world. Like,
what in the hell are gender neutral toilets?
It's good stuff. Check it out. Well, we're going to finish with more comedy for you, because over on Apple TV Plus, we have a second season for Platonic, and here is a clip.
If we want to stay friends this time, then we're gonna have to do normal adult stuff, like couples dinners and stuff like that.
Fine.
Yeah.
Couples dinner's on.
She got any dietary restrictions?
She says she's allergic to gluten, but she's not.
What am I supposed to do with it?
Same thing I do with it. Nothing.
Awesome.
How do I get that? I only eat chicken. Oh, I only eat pizza. Right.
This is another one. You know what? I was crying with laughter. It takes quite a lot to make me cry with laughter, but this really did just tickle my funny bone. Seth Rogen just delivers the best lines anyway. So Seth Rogen, if you haven't seen the first season, you don't need to watch it, but you might as well, because it's really good. This is the second outing, and there are 10 episodes in this run. And so Seth Rogen plays the part of Will, and his upcoming marriage is putting it's causing trouble for his relationship with his best friend, who happens to be a woman. And that doesn't happen that often, does it, where you've got two sort of heterosexual people, just you and I, that's it, who have really good mates, and who confide in absolutely everything, and from the outside looking in, actually look like a couple, but they're not. They're actually just best mates, and they have had a rocky period in the past where they didn't speak at all. So this is kind of them, their mates again, and it's causing all sorts of problems, because the woman in his life does not like his relationship with his best pal, Sylvia, who's played by the very beautiful Rose Byrne. And they've got such a great relationship, because Seth Rogen just does really silly things, and she just kind of accepts it. She's in a long-term relationship as well. Her partner is completely fine about it. But in this series, he's also having a bit of a midlife crisis. Although his midlife crisis does mean that he looks very muscly, so I'm going with it. It's absolutely fine. So they do really crazy, chaotic things together. But in order for him to get married, he kind of needs to work out a bit more of an adult relationship with her, and perhaps be a little bit less silly, and make his wife to be feel less insecure. Well, of course, is he really into her? That's the other question. Does he really, really want to be with her or not? So there's that kind of jeopardy there as well. But it's a lovely tale, and it's just, there's some real kind of slapstick humor in there, and it's a lot of screeching. And there's one bit, I actually think this might even be in the trailer, but it is particularly funny. It's when he swings the golf club and he hits the ball, and it hits his father-in-law to be right in the eye. And I don't know why that's so funny, but it is just so funny. And they're like crying for help, and they've got the golf buggy. I mean, it's a bit gruesome actually, it's blood everywhere, but it's just very, very funny. But it does have jeopardy, it does have real relationships, and it's it's good fun. Really like it. What do you think, Ian?
It is superb, I must say. And kind of Rogen's having a bit of a moment, isn't he? Like he starred in the studio. He's written loads of stuff as well. He's great in this. He wears some hilarious outfits in this, I must say. But he has always specialised in sort of playing a bit of a man-child who refuses to grow up. And in some ways, Will is sort of trying to grow up here, and he is engaged to this very wealthy businesswoman, Jenna, played by Rachel Rosenblum. But of course, he's having last-minute doubts. And, when Harry Met Sally kind of posed the question, the Nora Ephron film posed the question, can men and women be platonic friends? But kind of on the basis that, no, there has to be an attraction there, and of course they end up sleeping together, don't they? That's not the premise in this. They just are platonic friends. You're not thinking, oh, are they going to get together? But yeah, so she organises the engagement party in episode 1, which just goes hilariously wrong. And I don't want to say too much about it, but they run out of champagne, so they have to team up and go and try and buy some more. But he keeps calling it Veuve Clicquot. Which is it's just so silly, but it's really funny. It sort of reminds me slightly of the Aussie comedy Colin from Accounts, but it's its own thing, and it's just an absolute delight. And Rose Byrne, I mean, yes, she's beautiful, isn't she? But she's so good at comedy. I mean, she was in Bridesmaids, wasn't she, as like the perfect friend to the bride, and she's excellent in this. She really is. So yeah, I'd not watched season 1 of this, and I absolutely love it. Well, we've got to that time, young Hannah, my lad, where we find out what the hell you've been binge watching. Yes.
Well, Ian McGall, we have been watching He's not that into you
dear.
on Prime. It's a good family film. It's on Prime at the moment, and it's an all-star cast: Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Connelly, Bradley Cooper, and Ben Affleck. There's not a lot going on, but it's fun, it's easy to watch, and we as a family enjoyed it. How about you?
Well, I found quite an interesting film on Netflix called The Lesson, which stars Richard E. Grant from With Nail and I, one of my all-time fave actors, as a rather unpredictable author who employs a tutor to coach his son into Oxbridge. So yeah, worth checking out, I think. A little bit different. Well, we've just got time to look ahead to next week's offerings. So what is on the Binge Watch menu, Hannah?
Well, rockumentary Becoming Led Zeppelin traces the early years of the 1970s rock titans.
And, oh yes, the Alien franchise comes to the small screen with Alien Earth on Disney+. I cannot wait. So we look forward to those and much, much more. But in the meantime, dear listeners,
Watch it!